graduates, please remain standing for just a moment. Most of this evening, or this afternoon's award ceremony, or how about graduation ceremony, is built around our graduates and celebrating their achievements. But as several of the speakers mentioned, none of their achievements would be possible without the incredible support they've received from their family and friends who are here this evening to celebrate their graduation. And again, this class of 2019, we said, is a very special class. And if you look at the parents and families of these members of the class of 2019, it's an incredible group of parents and families that it's just hard to believe their kids are already at this point. Graduates, I would like to ask you guys to give a big round of applause as loud as you can to your family and friends who have come here to celebrate you this afternoon. Go! All right, not too bad. You guys may have a seat. We are blessed in so many ways here at St. John, and in Ocala, and in Florida, and in our nation. And one blessing that we often take for granted is the freedom that we have and the liberty that we have. Many of us may disagree on political issues and political party things, but one thing that unites all of us as Americans is the knowledge that we owe a tremendous debt to the men and women of our armed forces who have dedicated their lives and in some cases given up their lives so that we can live in freedom. As you may know, and you heard just a few minutes ago, we have 2 graduates who intend to serve in the armed forces. They are making an honorable choice to dedicate at least a portion of their lives to defending the freedom that we take for granted. So the least we can do, I feel, is offer them a special recognition with a round of applause. Victoria and Chris, please stand so that we can honor the selfless place. Sacrifice for their families as well to see them dedicate their lives to this. We're at a part of our ceremony now that's a very special part where we award a scholarship that is in honor of one of our graduates from a few years ago, Ashley Stanowski. You guys may have a seat, yes. Ashley Stanowski was a member of the St. John class of 2001, so it's getting close to almost 20 years since she graduated. Although Ashley had already graduated by the time she died, losing her was still an incredibly painful thing for the St. John family because it was just 6 months after she was sitting in her own graduation ceremony. She had gone up to Illinois on a softball scholarship and again was on icy roads and again lost her life. And so it was a very difficult thing for us to go through. And I want to sort of describe a little bit about Ashley, just so I like her not to just be a name and a face that you see, but a little bit of the personality. And from the picture you can see what I always think of when I think of Ashley is her smile. She was always smiling. That was not just put on for her senior picture. Every time you see her in the St. John hallway, she was always smiling, always happy. I don't think I ever saw her exhibit any kind of a negative attitude or spirit about anything. She may not have liked to do her work, but she always was happy about everything. Was always happy to see everybody. And again, that cheerfulness just pervaded everything. And that's what really stands out the most. Now, she was a great athlete. She was obviously a great friend. If you talk to anybody from the class of 2001, or even the classes above and just a few years above and below her, they all remember her very fondly. And so again, it's really in her honor that we want to remember her. And we always recognize a member of our graduating class as a way to sort of keep her spirit living on. Somebody who has exemplified that cheerfulness, that happiness, as well as that athleticism that she exhibited. She loved athletics. She was a great athlete in several different sports. Like I said, scholarship, went to college on a softball scholarship, but she was incredibly talented in a lot of ways. The Ashley Stanowski Scholarship is worth $1,000 and is awarded to a female graduate who, like Ashley, has achievements in athletics and at the same time is known throughout her class as being cheerful and happy and exhibiting those Christ-like behaviors. So I would like to announce our 2019 recipient of the Ashley Stanowski Scholarship and ask her to come forward to receive a certificate recognizing this scholarship, Miss Carson Locker. All right, we are now at the part where some of you moms and maybe dads need a few Kleenexes because we have a special presentation courtesy of Mr. T.